And US President Donald Trump, remember, has made no bones about coveting a Nobel Peace Prize. He brought up the award again while reiterating his claim of ending hostilities between India and Pakistan, an assertion which has been rejected by the Modi government. Trump has mentioned the Nobel Peace Prize dozens of times publicly, be it in his speeches, interviews, or campaign rallies. After failing to get the award in his first term, his obsession with the prestigious award has returned. The Pakistan government today said that it has decided to formally recommend US President Donald Trump for the 2026 Nobel Peace Prize for his, within quotes, decisive diplomatic intervention during the recent India-Pakistan conflict. This comes as Trump claimed to have mediated between India and Pakistan to bring the two parties to a ceasefire during Operation Sindoor. Trump, in fact, took to Truth Social and he lamented that he won't get a Nobel Peace Prize for stopping the war between India and Pakistan or for his efforts in the Russia-Ukraine and Israel-Iran conflicts. But why does Donald Trump desire the Nobel Peace Prize so strongly? Joining me on the show, David Sofer is Republican strategist. He's joining me from Washington, D.C. We have Raymond Vickery, former U.S. Assistant Secretary of Commerce, joining me from Washington, D.C. as well. David, beginning with you, why is the U.S. president seeking validation so badly?
Thank you very much for having me. And first of all, President Trump has, as controversial as he may seem in the eyes of the global community, which are the administrators of the Nobel Peace Prize, it's very important to understand what he has done. And he has achieved peace in the Middle East during his first presidency, which was a very important thing. He did not get the Nobel Peace Prize then. He also now has done several steps for peace in the world, which is a huge thing. Not only diffusing the situation in Pakistan and India, which both countries, both democracies, more importantly, have a storied and complex relationship with. Now, it's important to say that a conservative has not won the Nobel Peace Prize since 1975, okay? And they awarded it to Barack Obama, former president of the United States, before he even served term for allegedly creating peace in the world or whatever they gave. Now, when you look who's on there, who's on the actual board of there, and the panel who's on there, it's no surprise that they are never Trumpers. They are, they have a liberal bias, especially in these modern times. So if we get the Peace Prize or not, we will strive to bring peace through strength and democracy throughout the world, especially in these trying times. So it's about diplomacy really does die in darkness, and not having the conversations with countries like Pakistan or Russia or Barack Obama's friends, the Iranians, they're not our friends. When we cease these discussions, that's when true peace,
but
which
David,
we strive for in our party.
We have not seen any world leader, openly speak about Nobel Peace Prize the way Donald Trump has done. Barack Obama, when he got it in 2009, correct me, when he spoke about, when Donald Trump,
I agree with you. We have not seen any world leader speak about how he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yes.
But in such a short amount of time, because remember, this is his second presidency, we have not had a world leader that has achieved so much for global peace and actual domestic
Raymond
peace as well. So it literally is, I will say it again for all of your viewers and all of my friends on the left and on the right and on the center, that we are the party of peace through strength and the party of peace and prosperity.
Sure, we get that.
Globally and domestically.
Raymond Vickery, in recent times, Nobel Peace Prize has been one of the most controversial prizes that we have seen, and the fact here is that there is an entire US administration which is working, lobbying perhaps for this, for Donald Trump to get this. He himself took to Truth Social only last evening and mentioned the prestigious award some 6 times, and he listed a variety of reasons why he should get the award. Do you think the jury would be looking at that Truth Social comment? Or do you think it will not work at all? Because there is another aspect of this, because he says and he claims that he played a role in India-Pakistan conflict, and which has been vehemently denied by India. And Indian Prime Minister has communicated the same to Donald Trump, that he had no role whatsoever. And India never sought and will never seek any third-party mediation.
Well, thanks very much for having me. Peace, like war, must be waged continuously and with partners. Unfortunately, President Trump doesn't take that approach at all. He has promised that he would end Gaza problem on day one. He's promised that he would end Ukraine, Russia. He promised about no new wars during the campaign. And none of this has come to pass. The way in which to wage peace is not by seeking out an award. It is by working with others to try to put into place the rule of law institutions which can uphold peace. And this is unseemly drive to try to get recognition for something that he hasn't done is not the way to go about this. It is really an embarrassment, it seems to me. Now, I think the world should be glad that President Trump shows some tendencies to not resort to military action as a first reaction from his point of view. But make no mistake about it, his approach to international relations is a transactional one. It is what's in it for me, what can be done to seek my aggrandizement. This is all a piece of what is happening domestically as our form of government is attacked with disrespect for the courts, with claiming victories where they're not really victories, but simply a backing off from problems which he has created. One hopes that he might listen a little bit to Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan used to say, "It's amazing how much you can get done and accomplished if you don't care who gets the credit for it." That's not his approach at all, and one wonders where all this leads if the whole point of the president's action is to make him look like a world-class leader.
Okay. David, invariably, the United States is appearing to be aligning with aggressors in multiple conflicts. I mean, if you look at that almost bullying which happened right inside the Oval Office of Zelensky, the Ukrainian Prime Minister, one would say that is Donald Trump really expecting Peace Prize for being with the aggressors, and rather than backing those who are victims of this conflict?
Let's look. At the end of the day, let's back up to the first administration of Trump. There wasn't any wars at all. We inherited a mess through an incompetent party that should never have been there in the first place. Okay. Secondly, America is in a great place. We have inflation down. We have crimes way down. They've cleaned up the Democrats' open border policy. We have fentanyl deaths that are way down. These are things that Democrats and Republicans both wanted. So America's in an extremely strong place. Now, peace through strength, we were communicating with everybody around the world, and it's a long road to peace. And if you look at a place like Ukraine, for example, America and this administration has done more than Europe has. They come and talk. They're still trading with the Russians and all that. So these things take time. Now with India, America certainly did have a big role in creating peace there and a lasting ceasefire. Also, Trump had the head of the Pakistani military for lunch. Now, during that lunch, it wasn't a friendly lunch. I mean, he read him the right act. So he said, if you step out of line, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And that's how it is. So the idea that, that Trump's doing a bad job or that America's in a bad place, it certainly is not the case.
Vickery, it's not the case that, of course, the Republicans feel that he has done a fair job. And I would say that even the Israelis would be feeling the same right now. Mr. Vickery.
Well, the job which President Trump has done is anything but good. The inflation is not down. He has not solved the inflation problem. The inflation problem that he said that he was going to solve has resulted in a militarization going against civilly elected authorities. The fact is that none of the conflicts which have been indicated in Ukraine or Gaza are ameliorated. He's tried to take credit for the ceasefire between Pakistan and India, where his role is questionable at best, after saying that there was no U.S. interest, and in fact, obviously there was in terms of trying to build peace. He completely reversed ground. Then when India had taken steps against terrorism and the situation had been somewhat rectified, he tried to claim complete credit for it. So this is all of a piece with what some have diagnosed our president as being a narcissistic maniac. And that is the way in which he is attempting to go forward.
But Mr. Vickery, a word on the nomination which is coming in from Pakistan. I mean, why this rush by Pakistanis to nominate him? Well, and it has come from the field marshal, who is responsible for, perhaps responsible for orchestrating the killing of innocents on Indian soil in Pahalgam. He is the one who has nominated Donald Trump. Should he even accept such a nomination?
Listen, the Pakistanis, for all their problems, are very good at diagnosing what works with President Trump. And what works with President Trump is to praise him, to flatter him, to say that he is the greatest of all time in order to further your own agenda. Others in the world are taking that approach as well. One hopes that great democracies like India and Europe and Japan will seek to uphold values rather than individual personalities in terms of trying to build peace and prosperity. So I view what has happened with the Pakistanis as really a very cynical approach, but one which is effective with this particular personality.
All right, Raymond Vickery and David Sofair, appreciate your time. Thank you so much.